E6 Arlan versus E0 Jingyuan. How do they fare when they are placed side by side to a test? Now we're going to see their damage comparison in two tests. One is a solo test where they just go in solo, and the other one is a team composition in a hyper carry team comp with Jingyuan, Esta as well as Japat to see how they perform in being responsible to carry the entire team as well. They are both the same level with the exact same amount of tracers, but we will talk about that towards the end of the video as well, where I give my thoughts and conclusion to this test as well. Now enjoy the clips, see you in a little bit.
I command.
Look up ahead. You're in the way.
Here is thunder.
Let me pay you back. Tenfold!
Show no mercy. Conflict is pitiless.
That was a pretty close fight. Arlan did good damage, but definitely Jingyuan came out on top. Definitely because of his Lightning Lord coming in last minute to help him push him up an entire turn advance. I think we see the difference between both of them here in the solo test. Lightning Lord's presence is like a pseudo second team member, and that definitely made a difference in terms of their clear timing solo. But solo is not very representative of their true abilities, so let's take a look in a hyper carry team comp for both of them in a team fight situation.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Cool.
I command.
You're in the way. Let me pay you back. Tenfold!
Is that all?
Oh stars, give these trailblazers your blessing. Oh stars, give these trailblazers your blessing.
Will forged in ice. Never falters.
Huh? Who will it be?
Conflict is pitiless.
Will forged in ice. Never falters. Distance is here.
Is that it? Show no mercy.
Let me pay you back. Tenfold!
Here is thunder.
Our position is solid. On my command. For forward.
Oh stars, give these trailblazers your blessing. Who will it be?
Conflict is pitiless.
Forged in ice. Never falters. On my command.
Oh stars, give these trailblazers your blessing.
Here is thunder.
Will forged in ice. Never falters.
Let me pay you back. Tenfold! Who will it be?
Show no mercy.
Our position is solid.
Huh?
Conflict is pitiless. Never.
Relics, what did I use? I used a 4-piece band of Sizzling Thunders, and I used a mainstay of crit rate and speed for the boots. Both of them use the exact same gear. Of course, you have a Planisphere. I'm using the Inert Salsoto 2-piece lightning damage bonus, as well as attack percentage on both of them as well. Both of them scale well with these elements too. I wanted to run speed instead of, for example, an attack percentage boot that we see over here. And the reason for that is the stat scaling of a 5-star character generally is much better than a 4-star character. So I didn't want to tweak it in terms of a favor by putting attack percentage on an already much higher base attack character like Jingyuan. So I put speed to just balance it out a little bit in terms of the fairness of the comparison video. So those are my gear. These are Arlan's stats when he is wielding the full amounts of gear. I'll just put it on screen real quick, and then I'll swap to Jingyuan real quick that you guys can see as well. And these are Jingyuan's stats. Okay, other than that, I think one thing that you guys might be noticing is how am I comparing a erudition character and a destruction character? So the biggest issue I had was, for example, to give a good proxy for the seriousness of breakfast at Super Imposition 5. There are many ways to do it. I think how I did it, which was the best in my opinion that I could think of, was I tried to balance this 24% damage bonus with Arlan's one as well. So I made it Super Imposition 2 just nice so that we can have this, the first part of the damage bonus being exactly 25%. So it gives a bit more consistency to the first strike in terms of just taking the stats as well as the first part here, 25% and 24%. Thereafter, of course, once they start attacking and the characters are able to proc this second effect, that's when the variance comes about because of the light cone itself. But I try to make it as consistent as I can. There isn't like a perfect copy of the seriousness of breakfast for destruction characters, so that's something that you want to know. And other than that, in terms of the traces, they are exactly the same. I have Arlan here, for example, at 6889 and Jingyuan at 5667. The reason why his is higher is because we have Eidolons here at 5+1, 6+2, and also 7+2 here. So if we take away the Eidolons, it's exactly the same at 5667, and also Jingyuan's is at 5667. In terms of traces that we have, I have 6 unlocked for Jingyuan. Arlan here, he has 4 unlocked, but these 2 that will be unlocked after that are defensive traits in nature, effect res, and as well as HP, so it doesn't really matter in terms of the damage output that they do. One thing to point out, of course, A6 of Jingyuan is very strong, or where it increases crit rate by 10% after he uses a skill, whereas Arlan's is like so-so because it doesn't add on to his offensive ability. So that is one of the biggest differences and will add on, especially if you have him at higher difficulty levels as well. But one thing to point out is that Inert Salsoto as a set piece generally favors Jingyuan a bit more because of this follow-up attack damage increase by 15%. So that is something that Arlan doesn't get as well. So those are like how we put them side by side. But now let's go in terms a little bit more of what I think in terms of the conclusions that we saw as well. So in both of the solo as well as the team comp test, we can see that clearly Jingyuan edges out over Arlan. While the previous video on Serval versus Jingyuan was a bit tighter, this one is quite clear that Jingyuan is significantly better in Arlan, especially in the Memory 5 as well as the Memory 15 stages. Why didn't I use, for example, Memory of Chaos is because as of 1.0, the current Memory of Chaos has a buff that pushes the erudition character up straight away. So if I put them side by side, Jingyuan will be getting way more turns compared to Arlan in the same situation, which means it's naturally more unfavorable to Jingyuan. I tried to put them on equal grounds in Memory 15, which has monsters I think about 68 level, which is roughly close to their current level. So none of them are significantly over leveled across the difficulty, but of course you don't get the under leveled comparison. Maybe when the round refreshes, Memory of Chaos is more neutral, I will do a test for them in a neutral sense. But overall you can see that Jingyuan performs better against Arlan in these kind of settings when they're, especially because a lot of the stages in the team fight one had a lot of small mobs. You could see that Arlan took a while to chunk through those monsters as well. But single target damage, Arlan does a tremendously good amount of job. I think if there was only one boss monster, we might see a little bit of difference with Arlan. As you can see towards the end of the video, he did strike for very hard against Japart, the enemy Japart as well. And if you like such videos, you might like this Serval one where we did previously on the channel as well. Take a look if you're interested. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.